Hello and welcome back. In this part, we're gonna configure our Nextcloud instance that we deployed in the previous episode. And if you don't know what Nextcloud is, Nextcloud is a direct replacement for Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, or any other third-party software that you don't have complete control over it. So Nextcloud is open source, self-hosted, and it complies with all GDPR regulations in the Europe. So let's get started configuring our Nextcloud instance. So first, we're gonna log in to our Workspace dashboard. We can discontinue this. And first thing, what you want to do is you're gonna click this black profile picture for now. You go to administration settings. Let me zoom in a little bit. And first, you want to change your personal info. We want to change the full name to admin to your name. Also, you want to enter your email address, which was and another thing that we want to make sure is set up. You need to set up your language, US, if you want to English, or you can set it up to any other language. As you can see, Nextcloud has many languages to offer. And also, you want to sure the local is from your time zone. So we're gonna search English and we can English Europe, that's fine. It will refresh it, and if you want to fill your organization, you can. Your role, so other users in your Nextcloud instance can see that you are the owner. And that's pretty it from the personal info. Another thing, you want to change the current password. So if you copy the password from the Nextcloud all-in-one installation page, you need to paste it there and you need to enter your new password, which needs to be a little bit strong. And I'm gonna click change the password. And also what I recommend is to enable two-factor authentication for security reasons. You just click this enable TOTP and you can scan this code or you can copy this TOTP secret to your Vaultwarden password manager. And actually we can do that. So open your new tab or your browser extension for the Vaultwarden and you just simply add a new item. What type it is it? Login. You're gonna name it. It will be your email address. So it is basic. Okay, name Nextcloud, and the username is your email address, which we set it up to yes, org. Now you type your password. And here you will paste the authenticator key, TOTP, and you can copy this URL and you can paste it here. You can remove this and you can set it up to host detection. And you click save. And when you open it, you just copy this TOTP code. You go there, you click verify, and everything is verified. And also you need to generate the backup codes. So you click this button, copy those, and we want to add a secure node with the name Nextcloud backup codes, and you paste those codes here, and that's it. Now you have your login and your Nextcloud backup codes safe in your self-hosted Bitwarden vault. Alright, and also you can click save to download it, but I don't recommend storing those backup codes in a text file anywhere else. So once security is done, we can now style our Nextcloud instance. So when you go to the theming, you want to change your name for the Nextcloud instance. You can name it Webnestify Workspace. Your may vary. You can include a link for your main website. And you can change the slogan or you can completely remove it. So amazing, free and open source software. If you want, you can change the default color, but I keep it like this. And you can also add the links for your legal notices, privacy, and you can change the head logo, favicon, and the background and the login image. So do it in your own pace. I'm not going to change it here because this is just installation for showcasing, but you just click it and it will open the file manager. You choose your pictures that you want to have. Now we're gonna check our administration security for this Nextcloud instance itself. And here you want to enable enforce two-factor authentication for all users that we will add later. If you want to exclude your group, you can do it, but I don't really recommend doing this. Everyone should have two-factor. And with this, you can give access to the Vaultwarden, to your clients or employees, so that they can store all the credentials safely. You can enable also server-side encryption. That means it will encrypt all files that are uploaded to the server. And this will come with the limitations like a performance penalty. So enable this only if needed. And usually the performance penalty is around 15 to 20%. And also it will cut down your available disk space up to 40%. So this is completely up to you. But if you want to be really secure, you just enable server-side encryption. For the password policy, you can change the minimum password policy if needed. On my own production instance, my password policy is 30. I don't want to use password history. Every password needs to be unique. And I set up expiration date of 90 days. After 90 days, everyone should change the password. So the password are rotating on a 3-month basis, which is really good. And also you want to limit login attempts to 3 because you have your Vaultwarden, so there is no issue with forgetting your password or anything else. And also add for uppercase, numeric, and special characters. And also we want to check password again list of breach passwords from haveibeenpwned.com. So from administration security, this is it. And now we can move to setting up our SMTP. When you set up your SMTP in the basic settings, and you can leave this cron enabled by default, that's fine. And here the email server send mode is SMTP, encryption is start TLS, and from email address you can do your own, but I highly recommend setting up different mailbox for this. And how you do it, basically you go back to the Cyberpanel, you go to email, and you will create a new email. Under your domain, we're gonna name it Nextcloud, and you want enter your password. And don't worry, this email address will be only for transactional purposes, so it will only send. You will not be able to receive from the Nextcloud on this email address. So you create the email, and now you can copy this. Oh, we don't need it. So we go back to from. I'm gonna name it Nextcloud, webnestify.org. Authentication is login. Authentication is required. And for SMTP, you can check the SMTP details in your Cyberpanel when you go to email, list emails, and here you will get your SMTP details. So it is mail.webnestify.org. Port we're using 587. And you want to add your SMTP username, which is email address. And your SMTP password. So once you entered your password, you're gonna click save, and that's it. And now we can actually test this email sending. So we're gonna send our email. All right, unable to connect with TLS encryption. That's fine. So we can try this one. Okay, me 465. Let me check known. This should work. Okay, I'm trying to debug this issue. So I was able to fix the issue, and the issue was with the SSL certificate for the email. And now when we're gonna test our email with the encryption and the port 587, everything is working. So now I'm gonna talk about how you can fix those errors, because we have them also when we deploy our Vaultwarden instance. And basically in the Cyberpanel documentation, when you get self-signed SSL errors in Outlook or Thunderbird or any other SMTP providers or services that we want to use, for this case our Nextcloud instance. So how you can resolve this self-signed SSL error? Basically, you will just copy this code. I will link also in the description, in the documentation. And we're gonna move to the terminal. If it's working again. All right, we are in our terminal, and we're gonna need to edit our config, which is dowcode, and dowcode is our email server. And you want to go down to the bottom, and basically you just paste the code, you change the domains to yours. As you can see, I changed to mail.webnestify.org and changed the domain here. Control O to exit, enter to confirm, Ctrl X, and you're gonna type systemctl restart dowcode. Perfect. And now you should have no issues with the SSL. We can even test this one on port 465. and we can click send. 465 is not working, but port 587 is industry standard, so this port is working. And now we can open our mail to see if our emails was successfully delivered. So we're gonna move to our snappy email from Cyberpanel. I'm gonna log in with our main email address that we created. Gonna sign in, and as we can see, our emails are successfully delivering, and yeah, SMTP is working inside of our Nextcloud instance. Okay, this is done. So next thing that we can actually check is we can check the overview. If we got any warnings, and we don't need. We can disregard this. This is just for the phone numbers. We don't need those. But we can do Nextcloud security check. You're just going to type your workspace.webnestify.org and it will perform the Nextcloud security check. And as you can see, we got a really good rating, and the only thing that is we are not on the latest because we are using all-in-one channel, and usually when the new Nextcloud patch comes, the all-in-one team will make sure everything is up to date and working, so there may be 2-3 weeks delay. But everything else is pretty secured, so we don't have to worry about this. Also for the privacy, if you want to change some things, you can set up some things that who can access your data as a user. You can set up encryption, and also you can name where is your data. So in this case, everything is Germany, so is GDPR protected. Now we can go do our theming. Actually, we was in the theming, and we can check our system. Here you will see your system load, memory, how much available disk space you have, and also network. Another thing is good to check your Nextcloud talk, where you need to check your stan servers if they are already there. As you can see, this stan is perfect. We don't need to set up any domain names, anything. And you want to check the health of your turn server. And basically, turn server is to proxy traffic from your meeting participants. Each different client can have a different IP, so they need to be connected to this turn server in order to deliver meeting without any network issues. As we can see, everything is working. We have our SSL certificate, and all those things you can disregard. So from the settings, I think that's all, and we can move to the files. And files are like your Google Drive. You can create folders, you can upload files, and even you can play videos. And when you go to documents or upload some documents, you can easily edit your documents inside of Nextcloud. You can add your access to your customers or to your employees, and you can collaborate with them. So that's pretty easy and straightforward. You can go back now. Here you got photos, where you can store your photos, your private photos. And you can also create some collaborative albums. It will also recognize people if you install application recognize, but in this case we are not yet there. Another thing is activity portal, which you can check activity of your users and of yourself. Let us load this. So here in activity you will see all the users activity that will happen on your instance. It is really good to check from time to time if something is shared that is not supposed to be shared. You can check the security, activities, file sharing, calendar, to-dos, and any other things. Now we're gonna take a look for the Nextcloud Talk, which is our meeting application. You can search conversations that you had with your users. You can create new conversation. So this will be public. You check allow guest join by link. I'm gonna create conversation, and you will copy this link and you can share it to anyone so he can connect to the call without any credentials needed to your Nextcloud instance. Also, you can transfer all of your contacts from Google and you can sync them here. Also, you will get access to the calendar, which you can create different calendars for different purposes. In this case, we're gonna create business hours. And now you can just add events to your business calendar and also to your personal. You will get them both in sync. So if you install appointments application, you can select calendar to check for conflicts with other calendars. So in this case, yeah, you won't get any issues. And you can check also the deck. That's for like the task management. If you want to use it, I personally don't use this for task management. I'm using Vikunja that we will also deploy later in the series. And yeah, deck and task are, I think, almost the same. So now we can go check our applications that we can install in our Nextcloud. So we go to apps. And you can sort applications from this list. For example, you can check the featured apps. And you scroll down where you will see the news applications that you can install. For example, you can enable brute force settings. Just click enable. That's it. You can enable end-to-end encryption. You can enable external storage, which is really good. And when you go to the external storage support, you can read more, and you can add any FTP, SFTP, WebDAV storage that you have access. And if you have like a Dropbox, you can just search Dropbox, and it will find Dropbox integration, so you can integrate your Dropbox with Nextcloud without any issues. So we're gonna install our appointments. Download and enable. And now we can see we have a new appointments tab. And when you click over, you can create your appointments page. So with appointments, you can fully integrate your meeting software and booking system with this Nextcloud instance. You don't have to pay for Calendly or any other booking software that you have. And it's pretty simple and easy to manage. Basically, here you can manage your calendar schedule. You select your destination calendar booked, which we set up business hours. Here you can check conflicts in your personal calendars. You can set up some buffers that you want to have before and after the meetings. And the time slot mode is a weekly template. We can apply this, and now we can edit our weekly template. So we just click edit, and here you see the drop and how many slots you want to have. In my case, gonna be 10. I'm gonna press enter, and how many of each slot is available. So you can set it up to 1 hour meetings, 30-hour meetings, 30 minutes meetings, and more. And you can also name those slots like onboardings. And click add. And as you can see, we have our slots. You can move those slots between your hours that you want to have the onboardings, like this. So on and so forth. And if you want to add new slots, for example, for team meetings, you can add 3. I'm gonna press enter, and those can be just 30 minutes, and you name them team meetings, and you're gonna click add, and you can move those team meetings in between. Like that. Pretty simple and straightforward. And when you want to add this schedule from Monday to Friday, all you need to do is to click this drop down, copy to next, and so on and so forth. And you click save. And now you can do some organization information. So Wednestify Workspace. You can set your email, location, talk. When you go to advanced settings, we don't need this, but you can also redirect confirmed URL if you want to keep tracking. I'm gonna click apply. It automatically apply those settings. And when we go to settings, we can even customize the public page. And you can name your public page like onboarding in this case. You can show appointments for up to 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance. That's up to you. Also, you can show time and date into columns. And with advanced settings, here you can set up some GDPR compliance. You can add your text. You can show the time zone. And for the meetings, we don't need the phone number field. And also, you want to prevent this page from indexing. I'm gonna click apply. And from talk integration, you want to also automatically create rooms for confirm appointments, and also delete when appointment is removed. Click save. We go back, and if you want to have more features unlocked in Excel appointment, you will need to donate to this developer, and automatically he will send you the key for this Nextcloud appointment. And now when we go back, we can enable our public page. We can name it onboardings, click enter. I'm gonna click share online. And now you can copy it, this URL, and we can go visit. And as you can see, this is your public page where everyone can see your schedule. They can set up some meetings, and yeah, that's it. So we can name it Simon email. I'm gonna book now. We can open our email, and the participant just need to confirm, and the meeting is confirmed now. If you don't want to have your public meetings to be confirmed by an email, you can definitely do that in settings, email settings, and you want to skip email validation step and click apply. And now when we go to our talk, as you can see, we have the meeting room for this public meeting. And when we refresh the page, the person who requested meeting will get the meeting link. So we can just click that and he will be directed to this call. So to wrap things up, I really enjoying using Nextcloud in my own business with my own customers and the guests. And what I can say is that I completely disabled my Calendly subscription. I save 20 euros every month, and now I have my own self-hosted appointment schedule software and also software for the meeting. And it is working flawlessly without any issues because Nextcloud all-in-one version is really performant and based on the most security standards out there. So if you like this video, leave the comments down below. Share your experience with your own Nextcloud instance. How did you set it up? If you had any issues or troubles like I had with the email, but at the end we sorted out. And please make sure to check the documentation site where everything will be written, and also those issues that I sorted out, those will be there as well. So yeah, at the end, using open source software is a really good practice, and also it will help you save a lot of money, and you don't have to worry about any data breaches and those kind of things. So stay tuned for the next episode, and I hope you have a really great day. Stay tuned and see you next time.